Hello, today we're going to talk about my Gryphon War Priest build. This build is aimed at giving yourself and your team a huge amount of survivability and health regen. And we're going to talk about the perks, the feats, and everything else that is important. So let's start with the perks. So Gryphon has a few good choices here. I do think that Radiant, Rebound, Supersonic, and Clever Tactics are just not great perks in general, so I completely disregarded them from the start. I went with Remedy, Feline Agility, and Rapid Refresh. Remedy is just overall a nice perk because you don't need to really do anything to trigger it, right? You just if you kill someone, doesn't matter if you execute them or just like get them in a gank situation just with a swing from your weapon while out of lock or something. You get 10 health. It's nice. It's not a huge amount of health, but it definitely helps to keep you going and can make a difference in these very low HP fights that sometimes happen on points in Breach. Feline Agility is just overall a nice perk too. That small increase in movement speed can actually really make a difference in modes like Breach, because you need that movement. You getting around faster is incredibly useful in a mode like Breach where everything is so far apart, and just that few seconds that you get to a place earlier than you would have without the perk can really make a difference. And then there's also Rapid Refresh, which is the thing that the whole build revolves around. It's actually an insane perk. It's actually ridiculous, and I don't know why there aren't more people using it. I guess there aren't a lot of heroes that have this perk. The only other hero that I know that has this perk is the Nobushi. I don't know if anyone else has it. I didn't look at it, but yeah, I think this combined with the feats that the Blackbriar Gryphon has, I'm sorry, this combined with the feats that the Gryphon has, is an absolute monster build. It's actually ridiculous. And it also, if you're interested in knowing that, it also applies from the base cooldown. So if a base cooldown of a feat is 60 seconds and you still have 10 seconds remaining and you get a kill, it basically takes 6 seconds away from the 10 seconds that's remaining. 3 seconds away from the 60 seconds, because 5% is not 10%, I'm sorry. And that makes it so that if you get a lot of takedowns or revives, which is usually the thing in Breach, I'm always talking about Breach because that's the most I play, the mode that I play the most. You get like 20 to 30 kills every match, and you get a few revives. And it's actually incredible how potent this is. You can just, and I'm going to talk about this when we go to the feats in a few seconds. You can actually, because of this perk, you can actually spam your healing feats and your shit. It's actually incredible. So this is the whole thing that revolves around Remedy and Feline Agility. You could take that out and get Rising Dawn instead if you want. That's really just a preference thing, but Rapid Refresh is 100% needed for this build. 100%. So let's go about the feats. So on tier 1 we have Stern Stare, lower an enemy's attack, Speed Revive, and Fast Recovery. Stern Stare, I don't know. I mean, it's another active feat. It would fit the build, but it just doesn't do it really. The cooldown isn't high anyway because it's a tier 1 feat, and it doesn't really do that much. I don't think that the decrease is really worth it, especially if you're in team fights, which this whole build is also built around. Like you always want to be close to teammates, right? So I don't really think this is great. But yeah, that's just a personal preference, I guess. Speed Revive would also be fitting. I guess there's an argument to be made about this with if you would take Rising Dawn instead of Feline Agility and Remedy, but not for my setup, so you could use this. But the thing why I don't think these two are really the ones you should use is because of fast recovery. And fast recovery, if you don't know, regenerates your stamina faster. Sorry about that. You might think that, yeah, stamina recovery, that seems quite nice. And yeah, it is. It's actually a completely broken feat in my opinion. It's actually extremely good. It's actually ridiculous how good this feat is. Because your stamina recovery gets boosted a lot. And if you're out of stamina, you never need to worry about that. You're going to have stamina back in like 4 seconds, 5 seconds maybe. It's actually crazy. It's actually, I would go as far to say that it's probably one, if not the best tier 1 feat in the fucking game. It's incredible, especially with a hero like Gryphon that has a lot of different things you can do and can be very aggressive if you want to. This is just incredible. You can just keep on spamming your lights, your heavies, feint it, do your kicks, do your guard breaks, do everything. You can just keep on being extremely aggressive, especially in these team fight situations. So for me personally, it's not even close. The fast recovery is the best fucking feat you can get on this. Yeah. So, but you might disagree, but I think it's just incredible. So yeah, that's what I go with. Second feat, we have Dragonite Mist, heal yourself and your allies, which is unique for Gryphon. It's similar to the Jangjun feats, but the Jangjun feat got nerfed, I think. So it doesn't heal based on how many people are around you. It does have quite a high range. It's quite a big circle, so keep that in mind. You don't have to stand right next to your friends to actually give them the bonus. Then there's also Flash Wounds, which I never really cared for, to be honest. Just meh. Doesn't really fit the build either. Winner's Advantage. I think Gryphon is one of the few heroes where that actually is quite nice, but like I said, this build, the Gryphon already has a lot of offensive capabilities. I don't think he needs more damage, and I think that Dragonite Mist is just a very good feat, and you can really use that quite often if you have Radiant Rebound. Wait, was it called that? No, the perk that I'm using, right? Dragonite Bolt is the same thing. It's basically the same thing as Dragonite Mist. I think it heals the same, but it does like 30 damage, 35 damage to an opponent, which is nice. You have to think about one thing though, that if you use it on an enemy, the circle around the circle that heals teammates is around the enemy. It doesn't start around you like it does with Dragonite Mist. So if there's an enemy if there are like 2 friends besides you and there's an enemy in the distance and you shoot him, no one will get healed because the bolt itself, basically when it hits the opponent, does the healing circle. And it also only works if you actually hit an enemy. If the enemy dodges, you're out of luck. So it's a little bit strange to use sometimes, but it's nice. It's definitely also nice when your opponent has low health and is about to get revenge. You can just kill him with that. It's nice. Then there's also Tough as Nails on that tier, which is garbage, honestly. That's complete and utter trash. It got nerfed, and I know I used it in my Black Prior build, but that was before it was nerfed. So it used to give you like 35 HP or something. Now it's like 20 or 15. It's useless. It does not compare. It's one more light that you're going to survive. I mean, please, come on. That don't be ridiculous. And then there's also Fury. Raise sprint speed, slightly attack and defense greatly. I was originally very torn between Dragonite Bolt and Fury. Because Fury is actually quite good. But the problem is Fury only lasts like 15 seconds. So when you use it, you're not going to have a lot of time. It's nice on Gryphon because he has a lot of pressure, but it's not going to do a whole lot. And yeah, even the cooldown reduction doesn't really do much for it, to be honest. So yeah, Dragonite Bolt is definitely something you want to go for here. And then there's the tier 4, and I'm going to probably make some not enemies, but I'm probably going to raise some eyebrows with this decision. But I'm going with Champion's Aura. I think it's better than a Dragonite Cleanser. If you don't know, Dragonite Cleanser is like bomb, you throw it, it charges up, explodes, and then there's a healing circle permanently, well, for like no. How long is it? Like 10 seconds? That heals you and allies, slowly. But I think, yeah, Arrow Storm is, let's not talk about that, it's complete garbage most of the time, at least in comparison to those two. Yeah, I think that the damage is really not all that important, and the healing isn't really that great either. I mean, the damage is fine, but people will very often dodge it. I was actually, when I was using it, I was actually surprised by how often people were able to dodge this, because it just has a high charge up time, yeah? If you throw it on the ground, it takes like 2 or 3 seconds to actually explode. So yeah, and the healing is very short, it doesn't really do much for you, and you can't really and if you throw it on a gank, like one of your teammates is getting attacked by 2 people or something, and you throw the bomb, yeah, you do damage to your opponents, but you also do damage to your own guy, to your own teammate, and then there's the healing circle, which really makes, if you're doing damage to your own guy, even if it's not that much, it doesn't really, I just don't see any use for this, to be honest. Like, maybe on Breach when you're at the enemy commander, right? Maybe then, but it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. I thought it was great the first time I saw it, but it's, after using it thoroughly for 8 reputations, well, 5 I guess, just not worth it in my opinion. Champion's Aura is, it's all the, it's even, but it's everything you could ask for. It's an aura around you that lasts for 20 seconds, I think, 20, 25, somewhere around that. Obviously also gets affected by the cooldown reduction, and it heals you and nearby allies. And it's actually incredible. It's a lot of survivability you have with this on your hands. If you have this feat and Dragonite Mist and Dragonite Bolt, you're never going to lose a team fight. You're never going to lose a 4v4. Never. I mean, like, usually, obviously. And I don't mean the match, I mean a fight, right? It's actually incredibly good. The only thing you have to keep in mind, though, when you use this, you should not use this when you are on very low health to heal yourself. That's a problem. That you shouldn't do that. You should use it when you are like mid-life or have almost full life even, and just use it when teammates need the health, right? And because the thing is, when you use this and have low health, you're going to get killed, right? When you use this in any situation, people are going to focus you. That can be a disadvantage, but can also be an advantage, because people will be careless. They will try to spam attacks, light attacks and shit to get you and to kill you quickly. But you can just use that because you know they're going to do that, right? And you can use it to your advantage to act accordingly to it, right? So just don't use it when you're on low health because you get killed. And keep in mind that if you use it in teamfight situations, people are going to focus you because they want to kill you, because they don't want you and your teammates to be healed like that. Just keep that in mind, very important. And yeah, Arrow Storm is meh. Really not all that great in my opinion. And yeah, so those are 3 healing feats and 1 incredible offensive feat, which basically fast recovery is carrying the whole thing. It's basically very nice. And yeah, and all of this combined with the rapid refresh perk just makes for an incredibly potent build. You can actually spam these feats quite a lot. It's very, very, very good. And yeah, I really like Gryphon. He's a lot of fun. I think I designed him quite nicely too. If you care for that, his armor set is the Rogue set, and his weapon I gave him is the Ilmar's Gift set. And yeah, that's my guide. I hope I could help people. I hope you're going to enjoy this. And thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.